Hello.
Hi Debbie, how are
Let's
you?
see if I can figure out my sound.
I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you as well.
Okay, great.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Yes, likewise. It's been so long.
Yes, my hair is a different color.
Yeah.
So, oh man, we talked for hours yesterday,
Oh, okay.
which was good because, it led us to a little different direction. I wasn't surprised at all that Dan was like, yeah, okay, if we can get this done before you leave, let's do that.
Okay.
Uh, So it got down to as we were looking at reviews of the Tundras, the 2023s and 22s, there was a lot of stuff on there about the recall, something to do with the engine. And even though people said they were able to get it fixed, it was just like, do we really want? Because in the past, the Tundra, the generation before, which is what Dan's was, had great reviews, and people weren't at all concerned. But there were just enough of those. And I know people only gripe online, they don't go on to tell you how lovely it is. There was enough consistent problem that he just said, I'm not so sure that we can
Buy
only think
into
about
that.
that.
Okay.
So his boss had an F-250 a while back. He now drives an F-450, which way more than we would ever need. But his boss pulls a big trailer, big bunch of stuff, toys for the kids and all that stuff. So he started looking at the F-250s. Well, we didn't find a lot of F-250s coming up right away. But we actually did find one here in Las Vegas. So I kind of wanted to give you that information and sort of see what you think. So I know I'm probably putting the cart before the horse. What do we need to do about invoicing, paying you, deciding which way to go? Um, I guess, Dan said, well, if we find that car, that's great. If that one doesn't work out, then maybe Neil's gonna have to look around for us and see, you know, what else we can find.
Sure.
So
And so you have sent a very good and a detailed information over the text. So that's very appreciative, and maybe because of the count limits, the text got truncated and I could not get the full information. So I appreciate you taking again the screenshots and again sending it. So I did got a chance to review that.
okay,
And I would like if the F-250 which you have found and which you are interested in, my team can initially today itself do the outreach to the dealership. First
okay,
of all, to check the availability. Second, to get the exact specification. And then the third, which is important one, is to get a clear pricing. Because online price and an actual price, you are very aware that there is a massive difference between the two. So we want to ensure that there is some alignment if possible. And if that's the case, then quickly move on to the negotiation process, negotiate it and get you that F-250. But it will not be simply just getting that. In the meantime, we'll also be looking at more than 22 different online platforms now, which we have as a part of the journey, as a part of the process, which involves Car Gurus, Auto List, Cars.com, Autotrader.com, Carfax.com, KBB.com, all of that, Tempest.com, Autotempest.com. So we have a full list, which will be again outlined in the spreadsheet what we created back then. That's the same process. There is some automations which we have deployed now. There is a lot of scoring component which we do. There is value arbitrage which we create. So a lot of mathematical equations so that we can see how the price versus miles is trending, but for the pre-owned ones, and which
okay,
one is the best value for money. So we'll incorporate all of these factors as we continue the process.
okay.
And you are living, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are leaving for Italy on 18th, right?
Yes.
Yes. So especially I will not put it till the final hour that you have to rush to the dealership and then rush to the airport. So we'll keep an internal timeline that on 16th at the latest,
Okay.
you have the car in hand. So you have one day where you
That,
and
that's our goal. But like he did say, Dan says, well, I guess I can do it without you here, but I'd like to have it done before. So he's not do or die, but based on how things went last time and based on this is what you do now, this is what you do. I mean, it's possible that it could happen that quickly. I don't want you to feel like it absolutely has to either. And I know working with you last time, we never at all felt rushed or pushed or anything else. So if I have to leave and Dan has to finish the thing, it's not the end of the world. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
throw that out.
So that's a good flexibility, and I appreciate that because again, we want to make sure that we are getting the lowest negotiated price. And if
Right.
it requires for us to wait for a day or two more, we'll
Yeah.
do that. But of course, ideally, we have more than 1 week in our hand, or almost 1 week.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how many 250s we are finding, what are the trim levels, what you're looking for. So that's that. In terms of our fees, I'm not sure what you paid back then because it's been now 4 years. So if you are aware, I'm happy to honor the same fees because we have increased significantly since then.
Well, I don't expect you to honor the same amount because I think it was significant. I'm thinking it was like 349 for one and then 349 for the second part, and we did both parts.
Yes,
So
correct.
I think, I know that's quite a bit less than what you do. And I appreciate you even extending the offer, but I also respect what you do and what you have done. So
Thank
you
you.
can come up maybe with something in the middle. I don't know, whatever. But I want to be fair, and I certainly want to be appreciative, and so we
Okay.
can
So
put that back burner, and we're good for it, whatever it ends up being.
okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know that I got as specific in like the colors and some of that stuff. So do you want me to kind of give you some of that right now, or text it to you, or email, or
Yeah,
because
you can so
sure
what
we don't want black, in the desert. Um,
uh
so
correct.
and then I also have the two that I saw earlier today that I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to let you have the information so you could zero in on, and one of them is at Team Ford here in I think it's in Henderson,
Mm-hmm.
and the stock number of the vehicle is 95058.
Okay.
It is a 2025
What is the
Ford
dealership you said? Teen Ford.
Team Ford, TEAM, like a baseball team,
Okay,
or
yeah, Team Ford. And what
yeah,
is the stock number?
95058.
Yeah, I found Team Ford Las Vegas. Let me just quickly go into the pre-owned ones. F-250.
It's interesting because I went back on their site and tried to do the search, and that vehicle didn't come up. But if I put that stock number up in their search, it came up again. So I don't know if somehow it's a glitch in their thing, or if that means the car's not available anymore. I don't know.
Okay, just a minute. Yeah, the stock number, what you're saying is not coming. Let me just do the search. Interesting.
Yeah.
95058, right?
Yes.
Yes, so if I'm doing the search, I found it. Let me just, it's a nice crew cab, sorry, super cab. Okay, it's a white color one.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
I'm putting it in the chats here just as a reference. And then it
Yeah.
also helps our
That's pretty
team.
much. It has a lot of what he wants, so it's kind of like, all right, we can kind of keep that one as a something to compare it to.
Okay.
Another one that on their same on their same system,
Mm-hmm.
the stock number is 95005B like boy. it's a 2022, and
Yep.
I haven't said anything to Dan about it. You know, we could live with the color. It doesn't have black interior, so that's okay. It has 53,000 miles on it, but it's also 3 years old. So I
Hmm.
don't know if that would be worth, considering. But those were really the only two that it seemed like I could find that were fairly close by. There
Mm-hmm.
was one that I saw that was in Prescott, Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
but then we have the issue of having to drive and all that. Um, I was totally hesitant, but what do you think of this? That I got this thing from Carvana for $6,000
Yes.
for this
So,
trade, and run with that and go get the cash.
yes. So there will be a validity date which they would have mentioned in the offer.
Yeah, I
So
think it's good for a few days. I thought it said on when I printed this off. I don't see that, but it said like it was good for 7 days or something.
yeah, it will be for 7 days. So what we
Yeah,
have to do is let's take 2 to 3 days,
yeah,
very quickly look at where. So for example, the team Ford, what you have found in Las Vegas, we'll reach out to them and we'll get the initial negotiated pricing for both the F-250s, what you have found. And then we'll also share them your uh, truck, that is Tundra's information, which is 2007, X number of miles, which is almost 170,000 plus miles, interior, exterior color photos, all the things what you have in place. We'll share it with them and see what appraisal value that they have to offer. If it is like close to like 2,000, $3,000, then we'll cancel that and we'll directly sell it off to Carvana. But let's say if their offer is close to $5,000, then it's better to sell it to a dealership because we also get the tax write-off
yes,
and
yeah,
tax
and
benefit. Yeah.
plus it's just that much easier to get rid of it and be done.
Yes.
Do you want me
Because
to send you either his VIN number or his license plate number? I can text that to you so you have that. Is that
sure. So
helpful?
we have about 12 points, 12 different pointers what we'll need for Dan's truck, which also
Okay.
includes a good interior and exterior photos, time permitting on your end.
Yeah.
Because the reason why we ask for that, the miles, the trim level, the packages, the make, model, whether you have two set of keys, all of that
Which
is
we do. One's in the bottom of Lake Mead.
So that when we send that bundled information to the dealership, they have everything to give us a very good appraisal value. And
Yeah.
so that they don't come back and say, hey, by the way, you didn't send this, right? So that's the reason. But you send what you have at the moment, text
Yeah.
it to
And
me.
when I did this thing on Carvana, I was honest about, okay, there's nothing mechanical that needs to be fixed, but it doesn't, there is some dings and some paint scratch. I mean, it's, the paint is 17 years out in the sun, it's faded and it's doesn't look pretty. There's no major dents or anything, but I put it considered a fair condition. I didn't say it was in good or excellent condition. So I hope I was, in the right ballpark, that it won't be that far off. But I understand. So your process though still is you would be dealing with all the negotiated price and then bring in the idea of potentially a trade-in, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct, correct. So that way we have clarity with respect to what is the offer which we are receiving for the pre-owned F-250, what we are looking at. And
Yeah.
then as a bundled and a layer added to that, what is the trade-in price, what we are getting from the dealership. And then our goal is to sell your current car at the highest possible price and then get the F-250 at the lowest possible negotiated price so that the difference between the two is minimum, which is what you will have to shell out of the pocket. A certain component of that would be the down payment, which you are planning for, and then a certain component will be on the financing side. But again, in financing, we will look into the APR, which is the interest rate, to ensure that if the dealership is like saying it will be at 8%, 9%, we are not going to just simply agree on that. Our goal as a concierge is also to negotiate on the financing rate so that the interest what you're paying every month is minimal. So we can bring that down to 5%, 4.5%, up to 4%, depending upon yours and the dense credit score. And we only do the finance application at the very, very end. So that way it's not dinging on our credit history again and again at multiple dealership, thinking that we are trying to borrow a lot of money in the markets. And then also we are not getting locked in by one dealership where we are left with no option but to just go ahead and purchase what essentially that they want to sell to us. So very tactfully we'll navigate this territory.
So then where does that also send me, or should I, because I did go online yesterday to USA 8, and I may have shared that with you, to see what their financing stuff was.
Hmm.
And they, and now I can't remember for sure if it was new or used, but I mean, it was with us because we have accounts with them and it's with our insurance. I mean, it was like 4.99.
Hmm.
And Bank of America, who we also have as our bank, which are retirement accounts and all that stuff, their offer at this point, and again, I can't remember if it was new or used. I was thinking we were getting a used car, but if we're getting that close to the new one, I don't know if that'll make a difference. But it was also, I think it was either 4.99 or even a little bit less if they were going to add another 0.25% of a discount. So I know that that's the range that we're looking at. And whether or not I should move ahead and get some of that pre-arranged, I will let you be the one to tell me when to do that or what to do, because I don't want to mess up. You know, our credit score thing is interesting. I haven't run our credit score in ages, and mainly because we're a cash family anymore. And so we really haven't cared about what the credit score looks like. I mean, we pay for cash everything. So I
Yeah.
have no idea. It should be pretty darn good because we own our house. We don't have any car payments. We pay all of our bills.
Wow.
So we should have pretty darn good credit. But on the other side, if we're not using credit, I don't know if that starts to whittle away at your credit. So it'll be interesting to see what it comes out that that our credit score would come out. But it shouldn't be any problem. So hopefully, it will. It'll give us all the green light. But again, if I should move ahead, and if it's helpful to have some of the financing arranged through the bank, then my understanding is they do something where they lock it in with you for a period of 30 days or something like
Yeah,
that.
they lock.
Uh,
They provide the rate, which is valid for 24 to 26 working days, which is essentially a month. We can go ahead and do that, but even before we do it, let's just find the vehicle. Let's see how the total price, that is the out the door price, which includes taxes, title, license, registration, and then minus your trade in potentially at the price what we are expecting. What is that final value coming out to be when we are then splitting that with, let's say, 10,000, $20,000 as a down payment? And if you're going to finance $30,000 for over 6 months at about 5% or 4.99% APR, what is the monthly payment coming out to be? Once you have that full visibility and clarity, then you can say, okay, yeah, this numbers make sense. This is something what we are comfortable with. This is what we are comfortable buying this F-250. Then we can go and do the application. So first and foremost, what we do is getting financing from dealership is much easier compared to getting it from a bank, because you will have to go to the bank, put down the application, or do that online process. Then we'll have to approve, give consent, all of that verification will happen. With dealership, because their lien holders are just right there at the dealership can also do the financing approval. But that being said, we are not depending upon that. We have to take it from dealership, or we have to take it from BOFA, Bank of America, or from USAA. So, but when we know that they are at about 4.9%, we ask the dealership to give us a lower than that. So if
yeah,
they are giving to us at about 4%, hey, then it's better, right? Then we don't have to do all additional paperwork, because
correct.
when we go with the third party, like a bank, then a dealership will have to give an NOC. The bank will have to pay the money to the dealership. Until and unless those funds are not cleared, then the car is not released by the dealership. So,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
but-
I understand. It would be cleaner and simpler if you can negotiate the based on what, that we can already get, then yeah, I mean, and that's again, that's what you do.
correct.
I don't you don't have high blood pressure with what you do all day.
We
My
we
blood
love.
pressure is I feel it raising just a little bit even talking about this, and I don't know. I know that I don't have to do all this fighting with these people. Oh goodness.
Yes. We even so with one of our client about I would say 4 months ago now. So she is in Hollywood and she wanted to get a car on lease, and I thought that she would be super occupied and everything. So she was getting 4.49% from her bank, which was Chase, and the dealership was offering 4.7%. She literally said, Neil, get me at 4.39% from a dealership because 0.1% also matters. And just to get that, she made the dealership guys go in circles for 3 hours. And we were on demand while she was at the dealership to get it done. And at the end of the day, we got her at 3.99%.
Oh my goodness. I love that story.
So she was super happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, that's awesome. That's a great outcome.
Correct. And we play all the tactics. So not with you and then because I know that you are working and very busy professionals. But then we have a lot of like some of the young professionals who are like college kids who have a lot of time in their hand. So we ask them to go to the dealership. So if the dealership is going to close at 9 p.m., we ask them to go at 8:45 p.m. because they are about to close, they are exhausted of the day, and they will give it to us at the price what we'll ask for. Because and then we'll make them wait till midnight. And in the meantime, we'll order food from Postmates and we'll eat at the dealership and we'll say you have to give this price to us. So we do all these nuances.
Well, we're not young professionals, but if we have to go play that game a little bit,
No, we'll do all the work for you. I'm just saying because, see, for you, you want to delegate this process to us, right? You don't want
yeah,
to do all the edits. But we have some, this new set of generation millennials or Gen Zs who wants to do everything DIY. Okay, they want to experience this. And we tell them it's exhausting, it's tiring, and they're like, okay, Neil, don't worry, I'm paying you for what you're doing, but I want to experience by myself. And I'm like, okay, go. And some of those peoples will be like, okay, fine, it was a good experience. Some of them will be like, never again. You do it by
correct.
yourself, right? So
Yeah, yes. Well, that's good to hear that even some of them want to, because everything that we hear is that that generation doesn't even want to look at you, doesn't even want to talk to you. They don't even know how to talk to people. So anyway, I guess there's some of both, but that makes me feel a little bit more secure in my future because I keep thinking these are the people that are going to be taking care of me when I'm 90 years old. The doctors that I'm going to be going to, they need to learn how to talk to people and be nice and not just always be on their phones.
no, they
So
they'll be using AI, and then the AI will be talking to the doctor, and then the doctor will be talking to the AI.
yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so um, what else do I need to give you at this point? What else
Sure.
can I give you?
Yeah, we just will quickly fill out this one form, which is a client requirement form. Let me just share
Okay.
my screen. It will just
Okay.
take 5 minutes of your time.
No,
And
fine. I'm fine. Take any more of your time.
yeah, oh, thank you. And of course, it's a iterative process. So again, in the evening, if then thinks, okay, let's add this or let's remove this, I don't want this, then I'm happy to do that. So I have your email on file. Just allow me a minute to put down your email and phone number over there. Just a second here.
Fives, I guess, new is an option. Pre-owned, definitely. CPO, it doesn't have to be, but yeah, if that's what we find, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, well, a week, 2 weeks, whatever. Yeah, 2 weeks from now I'll be in Italy, but
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's right.
more on the 16th. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we were, yeah, 22. Yeah, you already got all this. Yeah, okay. And so the F 250, what I started to learn about after I didn't know anything about Fords, they call these the ones that have, I think it's the difference in something about the towing capacity. So the one that we're looking for are they're considered F-250 Super Duty or Super Duty. Yeah. And I guess that's like maybe a different, I don't know if they just added Super Duty on at a certain year, but that's what these are called. And then there's the different cabs and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
So I'll put F-250 Super Duty in trim level. I'll put Super Cab.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the super cab is not, again, it's not a definite. That's what we would prefer, only just because we've had that one kind for a while. They also have the kind with the, I don't know if they call it crew cab, that actually
Yeah,
has the 4 doors, which he has is on his Tundra right now. But again, we don't need that. But we decided if we only got a truck with just the one main seat, or the one row of seats, and the back of your truck is right here, I said, I think we're going to feel so claustrophobic after having this other car for
yeah,
18 years.
yeah.
So that's why we're looking. So whatever they call their thing, extended super crew, all those are options. But anyway,
But so at least you want 4 doors, right?
we don't have to have 4 doors. We just don't want the basic cab. We don't
Okay,
want
but
just
at
the
least you want 2 rows.
one row.
Yeah, two
So I
rows.
guess we want the second row. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second row. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Yes.
Miles less than 50K?
Yeah, I mean, when I was searching before, I was doing less than 30, but then we found that one here locally that has 53. So I think, I think he'd be fine with that. So
Okay.
somewhere around 50.
Any particular packages you have in mind?
I think the only thing that we need to be concerned when we're looking at stuff is confirming the towing capacity. It doesn't have to have a specific aftermarket tow package, but we need to make sure that we're not looking past the towing capacity. He wants at least a 10,000 pound towing capacity, which I think all those F-250 Super Cab or F-250 Super Duties so far that I found when I've looked at, they all have the 10,000 at least. And we're not looking at the super high, whatever they call them, platinum, and I think Lariat is one. And
Yeah, Legend is one.
I
XLT
mean, I
is
saw
also.
one listed for $102,000. I
Yeah.
fell off my chair. Like, you better have, like, I don't even know what kind, platinum lined. I don't even know what could be worth that. Yeah, it blew my mind. Okay, so 4-wheel drive. He wants that. He's never had that, but that's what he wants this time. So okay, fine. Okay, exterior: gray, white, or silver. And then in parentheses, you can put absolutely no black. Because again, if we found that one that was kind of a brownish, it seemed like it was okay. But we definitely don't want black.
Okay.
Interior, we prefer whatever they call it, beige, tan.
No, so the beige is the lighter one, 10 is the darker one. Are you comfortable with it? Okay.
Yeah. But again, absolutely no black because of the heat. And some of them have that gray. Maybe put gray too, because there are some that have more kind of like a gray, which is what our current one. So that's fine. I should have said that. Yeah, the gray is fine.
Anything which is like must haves, must not haves.
I don't think it's anything you're gonna find that's not available. But he wants the backup camera thing, to be able to, when he's parking, that it's not just looking at a little tiny box, that's hanging up here. So whatever it's on the dashboard, the ones that are like 8-inch or something like that, I guess is what they are.
Okay. Must not have is not applicable. What is the down payment you're planning to do?
Probably up to 25,000, depending on how good of a deal we get. We might keep it closer to 20, but.
And what is the monthly budget you are comfortable? 500 around?
Well, see, what we were thinking is if we got something for a 48 month or even a 60 month, we'll just pay extra on it to get it paid off. Um, so as far as payment, I mean, if on paper, if it says 1,000 or 1,200, that's fine. We're probably going to pay more than that just to get it paid off. But because we were putting away between 800 and 1,000 a month just toward a car payment, or excuse me, just toward the car. But I could,
Because we get a lot of random bots filling out the
yeah.
form.
But
And
when they say click on the motorcycle, but yet the fender of the motorcycle, you don't know if you should click in that square because it's over the edge of the square. And sometimes it's like, oh, or the bicycle, do the handlebars count if they're outside of that little square or if they have a little basket? Yeah, so those things make me crazy. But I can understand. I'm glad. I'm always happy for the extra security.
yes, yes. And actually, there is a theory behind it. So all the pictures in the world which are not able to be classified by a machine, which is like by an algorithm, they
Yeah.
are putting it into human verification process. So this classification is getting done default for free. Rather
Wow.
than, yeah, because they'll put that same image in random way in 7 different countries with different people. And if
Wow.
everyone says that this is a picture of a bicycle, automatically then that is classified as a bicycle picture. But in order for them to do it in an autonomous manner, they have to create much more powerful algorithms which can define those pixels in all those random orders. And so rather than doing it and investing millions of dollars, why not just create as a security question and let humans do it for free?
Wow. That
Yeah.
must make your biomedical engineering production, whatever you studied, that must make your brain just so happy to be hearing all that technical stuff and realizing I mean, yeah, that's amazing. I had no idea. That's so cool though.
Yeah. I always used to wonder why they are asking to choose bicycle. They can have something much more fun, right? Or
Yeah.
things like that. But then I did some discovery on that front,
Yeah.
and I found out
Wow.
that this is the actual reason. Yeah.
I think I'm going to tell my grandson, he's always wanting to have something to learn about. I think they moved to Kenya. I don't know if I told you all that.
No.
Our oldest daughter and her husband lived here. He's from Kenya, and they have two kids. So my grandkids are now 9 and 11,
Oh
and
wow. Okay.
they moved 2 years ago to
Okay.
Kenya so that they can, essentially live where he grew up. And it's a great experience for them. But oh my gosh, we miss them so much.
Hmm.
Um, but my grandson is always kind of liking to look into things. So I think I'll say to him, you know what, Amari, I want you to dig into why do they use this thing? What's this? What's going on with this thing? And see if he can
Yeah.
dig out what you told me.
Yeah, and you don't tell him the reason, and you're like, okay, why they ask us to select, that bicycle, or why they ask us to select those mountains, why they ask so simple questions to us, and then
Yes,
let him do some deep dive. Yeah.
he'll enjoy diving into that, and we'll see what he comes up with. That's
Yes,
awesome.
yes, yes. Cool. So yeah, that's it. We'll get the process started. And yeah, before we conclude, just where the rubber meets the road with respect to the commercials. And so you mentioned that you paid 349 and 349 back then. So since then, we have increased it to 699 and 699. So 700, 700 each. So we have almost doubled it just because we have a lot more costs and a lot more platforms and everything. But we'll meet halfway. So if you are comfortable, we can do $499 and 499, which is 500, 500 each. 500 as we kick off the engagement now. And then 500 once then, and you get the keys of your F-250. You come home. I want one more amazing review from you, and then we'll raise the second part of the invoice.
Perfect. That all sounds good. So
All
you'll
right.
send me or do you want me to give you the information right now for you to run the
No, so
credit card?
I'll send you a PayPal link, and you can use your
Okay.
debit credit card. and then you can
Perfect.
just go ahead and make the payment. Allow me the next half an hour. I'll coordinate with my accountant. We'll get the invoice link created, and we'll email it to this particular email which we have on file, which is delkx2@me.com. And then,
Yes.
time permitting, this afternoon, you can go ahead and make the payment.
Yep.
After this call, I'll also take one more responsibility. I'll huddle up with our client management team. You also previously worked with a person called Shinit, who was one person, and it was me and my brother back then when you
Yes.
started with us. So he's still with us. He is one of the most senior person, have worked with more than 500 clients now. So I'll ensure that the most experienced person is working on your deal as a special part in the connection what we have. And
Great.
so I'll give him all the debrief about our conversation. I'll also forward your this morning's message about F250. So if anything which is not been inculcated into the form what we just filled out, he gets a flavor of it. And then he will send out a welcome email. Now we have an amazing client handbook, a welcome book also, which we have created. We have published a book on Amazon as well, which was #1 bestseller in new category for 3 days.
Wow.
All about car buying and the experience around it. We have a YouTube channel now, so a lot more activities have been in the play.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, yes, I will wait for your email. I will get your invoice paid immediately, and I'll look forward to hearing where we go. What you find? I'm really curious to see how this Ford dealer is going to be, if they're going to be willing to negotiate, or if they're just going to be like the guys that were in Henderson last time. But
No
I
worries.
know,
Allow us to
it's
take care of it. It's fun for us, and we'll be able to lower the price.
okay. Super.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Debbie, for a wonderful call. I was so happy to see your call yesterday, and we look forward to serving you and welcome aboard.
Thank you. Nice to see
Okay.
you as well.
Nice
Take
to see you.
care.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.